ready, but maybe you should just say one word. One word of prayer.
One word of prayer.
Amen. That's it.
Okay. They did.
She just did.
Amen.
Amen. All right. Thank you guys for coming. It's really a pleasure having you all here. As you know, Valentine is coming and it's a love celebration. Why are you laughing? We are going. Where's your boyfriend? For me personally, talking to people who are not married yet, it's like a burden. That there are so many things I will have known to learn before I got married that I did not. So anytime I'm going through something, it's an opportunity for me to share it with those who are not married yet. Because I don't want them to go through the same path. I know that marriage is a good thing. It's a beautiful thing that God created. But the world we are living in today makes it seem like it's not worth it. There are some youth who really don't have any desire to get married. But me, I know like it's the best of the relationship you can have. Because, I mean, you're there for me all the time, you know? Not you, I mean you. So that's why I was like, since Valentine's coming on Monday, we're going to celebrate on Monday. Let me take the weekend, see if I can share this thing with sisters and brothers who are not yet on the journey by getting ready. So that's the reason why we are here today. So thank you for being here. It's not going to be me talking or giving you advice. We have Mama Feza here, our mommy in the house. Married for a long time ago. Yeah, that deserves that. And I said, Mama Pastor, she knows a lot. God can use her to give us what we need, even those who are already married, to learn from her. So I'm happy to have you here, Mommy.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Dr. Stephen is here too. Married for how many years now?
I can't remember.
He's always like that with guys.
Since he was in high school, that's why he can marry. Since kindergarten.
Your marriage is still kindergarten. Okay, we're gonna be blessed today.
It's been a long time.
That's a very long time. Okay.
All my life.
So we're going to hear from him too, the experience. The other side is, as a Christians, we don't have this a lot. It makes especially the youth in Christ think marriage is boring. We've seen many stuff in the church itself, like you don't see couples demonstrate that this is a good thing. You don't see. I like with white people, when you see them, you can tell those people they're in the relationship. You can tell.
We getting the background where we came from.
Okay. But my thing is, why can't we just learn in this country where we are? You know, the only thing I don't like with white people is during worship, they be doing this to their wife. That's I don't like. But at least it's just a sign of love, you know, like I'm here with you, you know. So that's why we are here. I think it's going to be a good time with your question. Maybe even you are not married, but you have things that can help us that are married already. So it's a round table talk. Everybody will talk. You ask questions if you have. Give your concern. So I think we are going to have a good time.
Amen.
Nadia, are we? We're going to have a good time?
What are you asking me?
I'm just... All right. To begin with, what do we begin with? Any question, any concern? I can just throw one in.
Let's start.
Okay. According to you, when do you know that you're ready? Everybody just smiling. You're drinking.
But the question is not finished. Ready on for what?
For marriage.
Ah.
Yeah. For marriage.
Yeah, I think I'm not ready yet.
Should we take turn?
If you do, you have to start from there.
Why?
Oh. So that give us time to
First of all,
Okay.
talk first. How did you know you were ready? How did you know you were ready?
Good question.
There goes you're married.
You're married. How did you know you were married? You were ready?
Now you are throwing the question back at
Of
me.
course, you're like,
Yeah,
Well, no,
actually, because us,
How did you know that you were ready to get married?
Yeah, we don't have an answer. So if you can give us something, because
No, that's fine. She's married already. So how did you know you were ready to get married?
How did I know I was ready?
this is how we That's how you feel?
That's how we feel when
I'm like protected.
You know why this is difficult for you to answer to that question? Because it's not up to women to be ready. That responsibility given to men. It's the men
Depends on
that,
the culture.
yes, but according to the Bible and the position men in the house, it's up to men to ask the hand
But
from the woman.
But if I'm not ready, I can
if
say-
you
I
ask
can
me
say
my
no.
hand and I'm not ready, I can't go to the marriage.
True, but that's it.
She still didn't answer yet.
No,
But how did you know you were ready to get married?
no, hold on. Yes, before you go, I'm gonna say like it happens like before knowing that I'm going to marry him. I'm really not thinking like I know I'm getting old, but I'm not like I have to get married. I have to. But when we begin to talk, I know that I can go in. Like I'm kind of ready after we talk. You know.
Yeah, so it's a personal feeling that you cannot explain. Okay.
Maybe you weren't ready.
But Stephen, how did you know you were ready to get married?
In kindergarten.
Well, I think the culture play a big role because depending on where you grow up, it will determine when you feel like you are now in that position to say, okay, if I say I want to get married now, people will not scream at me. When you get to the point where you feel like now I can make decision about my future. Is this going to be career first or family? So most people choose between the two when you get to that point. Let's say if you find yourself in the culture where if you have not graduated university or something, don't talk about it. So if you finish your first degree and you sit down, you say, okay, do I want to pursue career first and get to where I want to get to before I think about marriage? Or can I combine both? Or do I just go straight to family? So it now depends on your personal
Decision.
but this needs to start early in life. You need to start praying about it before you get to that point. Because you need God to guide you. You know, the book of Proverbs says that man plans and God guides the steps. So you need God to guide you in the direction to follow. Because there are some culture where from even in the Bible, 14 years old, ladies are ready. Men, you know, sometimes it's difficult. In most culture, men are the responsibility lies on men. But there are some culture, maybe some places in Asia, India, that the woman is the one paying the dowry. So that means the woman family, they must be ready. So depending on where you find yourself, and if you look at United States culture here, I think high school.
Yeah.
Most people, once they feel like, okay, I think I've achieved the goal, what my parents want, I finished my high school, and now I can make my own decision. So when they say they hit 18, they can decide on that. So depending on that.
And many Caucasians live in 18, 20, 21, they get married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mine, when I was in elementary school, all the teachers, it's like they already joined me and my wife together.
Really?
Yeah, and everybody's calling us husband and wife from head to age. So even when I got to high school, she went to a different high school. I'm in a different high school. In my high school, people will be talking, your wife. It's like, we saw your wife. It's like, we are not married.
Wow.
I still know some of the teachers today that if I talk with them, they will ask about her. In my elementary school, they will still ask about her. That, how is she?
So you were so close? Everybody.
Well, I think it was.
Were you just
The first time we met was 1985.
What do you mean you met? Like,
See each other. And since then, we've been like best of friends. But we kind of have like a 6 years apart. That was high school time. We did
that you were ready.
1997. June 1st, 1997.
You met 1995?
1985.
Okay. Okay.
But you can tell.
Yeah, if the person
It already is.
Yeah.
So,
It's all about the shape.
Wow. That is nice. That is nice.
But it's easy for a man to know that he's ready. It's easy because, as I support a little bit what Brother Ange said, that you come, because you're the one who has to come. And I usually say that when also you feel like I can share my life with somebody. Because today, if you see some young people, they say, even the woman, you don't want to have a woman. I cannot stand to stay with somebody in my house. I cannot say I want my own apartment. I want my own. So you're on.
You cannot, yeah.
Yeah,
You know you're
it's
not
hard.
ready.
That's why you see many young people when they get married, the divorce is easy because they're not ready. They didn't process how it takes to live with somebody.
Yeah.
So if a roommate only, because I would say a husband, it's like a roommate too, because he has his behavior. You have your behavior, and then you have to put together. So if you cannot stand somebody else, I don't know. If you cannot live with,
But
it's hard.
I would say something about that, mommy, because you know how you say you may not want to have a roommate, but when it happened, but with somebody that you love, you can accept to live with that person. Like
You can
don't wanna
accept, but it may be a fight because you have to be ready in your mind. You have to set.
Because I used not to like anybody to sleep next to me. And my mom was asking me that, like, how you gonna do when you even my sister's like, I don't just want. Even if you want, you sleep all the way at the end. But when I'm married, I know that I don't have a choice. So it's because of that I was saying, like, maybe you won't.
Yeah,
have,
but it may take you. It may be like a little bit struggle.
yeah.
But to avoid all that, since we're asking about getting ready, prepared, no. It's for me, I think you need to work about that. If you know that you cannot live with somebody, you need to start working on it and check what people, sometimes they don't do, check your character. What people usually say, reproach you about.
It's something that I work
You
on,
start working on it. You know, many of us, we kind of ignore that part.
Yeah.
And then when you get in the marriage, that's why you see many people who are not well prepared, in the 3 first year of marriage, they struggle.
Yeah.
But those who really prepare in their mind, they enjoy. Which I think it may not be your case, Papa Stephen, because you guys
that one.
and you prepare, you knew each other, and you were prepared already.
Yeah.
But it may be little in there because you were not living in the same house.
Yeah.
So, but
That'll be different.
but it would be different for somebody who didn't set his mind and ready and accept, like, because some people, they cannot stand a negative action from another. So you need to prepare your mind. If the negative thing action come, I will do this, I will deal with it this way, I will do this way. So you prepare yourself. That's why I think Pastor in the book, he said that you coming to a marriage to give, not to receive. So that one too is a mindset preparation.
That is
As
true.
I say, you were saying about the Caucasian, I say we are getting there. Because the culture we grew up with is it was rare to see your daddy kissing your mom.
Yes, it's true.
And it's even hard for your parent to say I love you.
You know, we have to set a rule in our house for that. I tell my dad, like, it was one New Year, like this year, we are pleading with you. Every time you come back, you kiss, you hug everybody. It has to be a rule. And then he began to do it to the point that when we don't do it, be like, you the one that set the rule.
Yeah, because all those things need to be prepared so that you can have a good beginning and end in your marriage.
That is true. Yeah. But those things make you know that you are ready. Those who don't like when you put something here, somebody move it, it's trouble.
And also financially, you have to be ready too.
Yeah.
You have to be ready and start. If you have so many credit cards, start paying them off. And
Don't bring no debt to nobody.
Well, I think the financial part is also key because for your own independence.
Yeah.
Just like what the scripture says, the man will leave his father and the mother and be joined with them. So you have to leave them. Even if it's a one-bedroom apartment, you can afford.
Get it.
Go get it. Get out of the mansion.
Yeah.
Go to your
own space. Yeah.
Because it is for the two of you.
Yeah.
And the process of learning, you need to learn each other. You're going to, for no matter how long me and my wife have been together, we still have issues.
Yeah.
And one thing that we try to do is that we are patient with one another, knowing that we are human beings. And the patience now come with when I notice that you are not happy, I can't be happy. We have to be happy together. So I have to say what's going on. We have to talk about it and address it. And one thing we try to do is to make sure that we address every issue between the two of us. My mother-in-law was with us for 6 months. When she was leaving, she looked at me and she said, "I'm happy my daughter married you." She said, "Since I've been here, I didn't see you guys scream one time." It's like you are watching. She said, but she didn't know that sometimes we had issues. But we go in the bedroom, we sit down, and we talk about it. My parents were here, my dad and my mom. We are hearing their own screaming. We didn't hear anything from them. And if you know the two of them, they are like Tom and Jerry. Now they are just screaming on each other. Next, they are just laughing at each other. So they are like, they look at us and say, "You guys are best of us." Glory to God. It's the grace of God. But we do have things to address, and we just make sure that we talk about it. And we don't use that opportunity to bring another thing.
Yeah.
Because that happens a lot. Like when you want to collect something, okay, you too. No, it's now, it's you now. We are
not talking about
let's finish that part before we go to the other part. And sometimes you sit down and you just laugh over things. You make each other laugh. Like just you see what you did yesterday, and you just talk about it. You laugh. Like that is the human side.
A big issue.
So it's not really because the only person that will defend you, that will be with you, whether best or bad time is your wife or your husband.
Yeah.
So just know that that is the person that had the most interest of you in heart. So don't think like there's somebody outside, I'm going to go talk to that. The person you are living with.
Yeah.
Don't hide anything from them, and don't let things come from other people to them. Like surprise. Oh, my husband is. Be the one to tell. Let her be the. Don't let outsider bring information that may take away the trust. So I think we are even going away from the question.
Going to purpose now. But quick question on what that you just said. Suppose you're dating. Do you have to be open all the way and tell the person everything?
Once you pray to God and you know that this is going to be who I'm marrying, that is the moment you start to open up. I know a church in Atlanta, Pastor Mike's church. They have 4 things you have to do before marriage: pregnancy test, HIV test, credit report. The two of you have to be transparent. You bring your own credit report, she brings her own credit. You know how much he's owing.
Before you
know how much is before, you see, he's owing student loan. You know now. he has car payment. You know now. Or this person already gone through bankruptcy. You see.
10 years later.
So don't come and say it's not making you make progress in life.
You signed for it already.
You signed that you want to get married, and everything is open.
Yeah.
So it's like Adam and Eve, they were naked. So you have to be naked. You have to. You want to marry each other. You have to spend the rest of your life together. So what are you hiding? I think when I was in high school, because my dad usually, when we are home, there's a lot of cases of couples that he always handle. They always come to him. He's always settling things. So that now passed on to me, even in high school. That my uncles would call me, come. This is what my wife is doing. It's like I would say, I'm still young. Don't be telling me all this. And they would get you involved in knowing things that is going on in marriage. So those things are also prepared. Why are you doing this? And I will be promising myself in my heart that I will never do this. I will never. So all those things kind of help, but there are so many things that you're going to learn from each other. Just know that two of you are not going anywhere. And try to make sure you are not watching stories or reading things about people divorcing and all those things and flood your heart with negative. Because from the abundance of what you have in your heart, your mouth will speak. One day you will be upset, say, I'm going to divorce, because you have been pouring yourself, filling yourself with people divorcing. You don't see people that marry for 60 years and they are still together. So all those things help. Fill yourself with positive, with the word of God. Don't be going negative. Don't be thinking those things, because sometimes you are praying something, you are thinking something else, and it's like what is it called? I forgot this thing. There's you can have in the wineskin, you can have the new and the old, so they cannot mix together. So you cannot be praying to God to do something, and you yourself, in your thoughts and your mind, you are thinking like maybe we should break apart, and I'm going to marry that lady I'm seeing over there. You're going to break apart and you will not marry that lady. That is things about life. So just know that this one, I'm in for it. I'm not going anywhere. So it's like whatever it has to do, you two needs to make it work. And speak up. And speak. Talk to one another. The night you notice there's something, don't sleep. Tell I can't sleep. We need to talk about this. If you say, okay, you know what, let's talk about it tomorrow. Okay, all right. Tomorrow it is. We're going to talk about it. But make sure that is priority.
You have to fix it.
Because you see, I'm looking at a scripture. I was wondering, you remember a story when they met Abimelech? When he had to lie? Do you know how old Sarah was then? Sarah should be close to 80 plus. And still, she's still beautiful in someone's eyes. So don't think that somebody is not hiring your husband outside or your wife. Think you are the only one.
Yeah.
And you just, because most people, some people, they will get divorced, and the next marriage they get is perfect. And the person is sitting there and say, so this woman can do so good.
That person was watching.
So somebody has been watching and even praying.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are so fearless.
Yeah.
The goal that God gave you, you don't know how to hold it.
Yeah.
The moment you lose it,
That's it.
then you see how the gold is shining in another person's house.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we pray that will not happen.
Amen.
There's an old guy who said that to pastor. Their friend, he said, I regret this lady because pastor knows the ex-wife and then he knows the new wife. So he said, I'm the one who messed up. And I was thinking that she was bad, but as soon as she left me, I realized that she was a good person. And until today, she's still in my life. And a lot of mistakes that I made without her, if I was with her, I would not make it. So it shall not be your portion. Go ahead.
I know what you said. Somebody said that the finest chick in the world is your ex in the hands of a new man.
Yeah.
So we need to value what God, because the moment you guys come together, what they say is what God has joined together. Unless if it is not God. If you get married outside of maybe, and anything that is outside will of God, who is your father-in-law? The devil. Because when you go on the bed, we only have two fathers, either God or the devil. So if God is not your father-in-law, then the devil is. So that is when they go to bed. What happens is, usually they get a king-size bed. The husband will sleep face this side. The wife will sleep face this side. Guess who is in the middle?
The father. Oh my goodness. Okay, what about the day we are close? If we are not sleeping apart, what does the father in law
Let you
sleep?
enjoy each other because he stay on
see in the scripture.
He knows that he got
God says He's joining you together. The devil does not join you together.
Oh, okay.
The
So when
devil
we leave the
separates.
middle, he just come and take
He
possession
takes possession in the center.
and begin to talk to
Then you'll be
everybody in his
thinking,
corner.
I married evil.
Who sends me?
Yeah, why do I even marry this person in my life? I can divorce and I will be on my own. All those things the father-in-law is whispering.
Talking about that, I was thinking about that the last week, like about 3 or 4 years ago. That was in the whole year. So I was asking, so how do you figure this thing out? And I have what we call a relation or an understanding. Sometimes, let's say, I think I said this before, if you are, let's say, close to the door, right? If you're very close to the door, you don't see the whole beauty of the door. That's when you're far away.
Yeah.
So sometimes when we first meet somebody, we see the person like, God made this. Oh, that's everything I want.
Yeah.
Then you get very close, and you don't see the whole picture anymore.
Yeah.
So now, what you saw at the beginning is what you see now. So now, the challenge is, how do I love what I see now, the way what I saw? Because I love what I saw
Before.
and many people don't know how to go back to what they saw the first time. Because they can't go back, they struggle where they are. And I think the beauty of staying together for so long for most people is when they learn how to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Because people change.
Yeah.
Why did I fall in love with this person? Why did I fall in love with this person? Because when we met, that's why you have to know why you are being with the person.
Yeah, in the first place.
If it's a shallow reason, it will fade over time.
Yeah.
But if it's something deeper than what is on the surface, because there are things that do not change.
Yeah.
They could be, maybe you could expand or decrease, but the core of it doesn't change.
Yeah.
And if that's the thing that attracts you to the person, then you can stay for a very long time. But if what kept you together is something of an inelastic capacity, then when the time comes in, there's a kind of a stretch, you break.
Yeah.
And I think it's to examine how we met or why we met for the first time.
You have to know.
Because many people, when you get too close, when you get too close, the love, there's a strain on love.
Yeah.
Too close, and people don't know how to navigate.
Yeah, that's really
That's a good one.
You have to know why you want to get married for real, and need to keep in mind too. I'm not getting in to live, because if you have that in your mind, you always want to work on it to work. I mean, you want to make sure that it's working. But if you don't set yourself that anything happen, I will leave, you will leave.
And something just came in my mind while you're talking now is individually you will know that you are very good at some things. Don't expect your partner to be as good as that.
Yeah.
You will notice that when two of them come together, one may be very good with patience, the other one may be very good with hunger.
Yeah.
God has brought you guys together so that you can, the one that is with patience will not be too over patient. You know, sometimes it's like, are you, so then the one that is getting angry too much so that you don't go overboard. So it's like you will discover the same thing with many things. It could be sex. Someone will be very active. The other person will slow him down, because if two of them are active, something will happen. Somebody will keep back.
They're going to be changing their bed every month. 911. You want to kill You again.
Always know that
The bed story.
when you go there, you are not focusing on your strength every time. Like you don't know how to do this, because you know how to do it. That is why you are together. If you know how to do it better, do it. Let her do what you know how to do better. Because as you are going together, you are learning. And I had a pastor that said, marriage is a school that you never graduate from. You continue to learn. You will never say, oh, now I have my diploma. I graduate.
That's why you're so old person still arguing. Like you don't know him till today.
So it's still the school that you are learning one another. And even this COVID, many marriages broke up because they stay together.
Go out. They don't usually stay together
so
like that.
When you look at that, if you are not that, like me, that I work in the house now, I'm 24/7 inside the house. So if me and my wife cannot see each other in trouble, we're gonna be fighting every day. So, but you have to know how to get close to each other. Don't focus. I used to look at the weakness. Why can't you do this? Why can't you do this? And my standard is like this. It's like you need to cool down. Cool down a little. When you cool down, you will get the best out of your partner. Just cool down, understand each other, be patient, talk over things. I like it when we do things this way. Don't come and say, you don't know. So just talk about it. Can we do things this way? Or, know that the person is trying to learn some things as well, and you need to be patient for that period. And I think it was here, as Baka was saying, there will be some things that you will hope to change that you will never be able to change in this lifetime. You're gonna say, oh, I wish you can. It's gonna just kill yourself. Just leave it. You can say, my grace is sufficient.
I was about to say that.
And that knows why you know some behavior on the one of the partner because he wanna maybe grow you up from something.
I was gonna.
And then once you start accepting the person the way he is, the way he acts, then you will see one time and then
It's
you
just
notice that,
its own.
it doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So wow.
Yeah.
All those
The thing I did, but now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then it doesn't do it. It's just like a child. When you say, stop touching that, it's like you are pushing him, go touch. Go touch. But if you give him the freedom, let him touch and discover what it is, and then he will lose the interest.
Yeah.
And then next you see that toy or that thing, he leave it there.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes you let the person be who he is. And then you just supporting, and then one day himself or herself will still realize. I mean, you just found out he doesn't do it no more. And then you remind him and say, "Oh, I don't do it." You know? So
That's the beauty of the marriage in Christ, though, because people in the world, they'll never know that God wanna teach me something. But for us, it's like it's just because of you that God allowed that thing to be in that person. Yeah, that's why it's good to marry in Christ. Lay the foundation in Him.
And have God as your father-in-law.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
I think those are good points. That idea of people are always going to be evolving and becoming and learning. I think somebody who is single and actively dating, I'm looking for the perfect package. I'm waiting for the man to be what I want him to be in 30 years. But a lot of times I have to reflect on myself and realize the woman that I want to be, am I there yet? Or do I need to take time to become that, right? So one small example would be, I want to be somebody that dresses up, looks nice every day. I have my makeup, but right now I'm in school. I don't do my makeup. Whatever my hair looks like, it looks like that.
Yeah.
But if somebody was looking at me and they wanted me to be that full package, like that's one of the things that they wanted, it takes time for me to get there. You know? It takes time for me to change. It takes time for me to fall back, relapse. Okay, I lost myself a little bit. Now I have to start again. I have to start the process again or keep going. So yeah, those are really good points. Just continually.
That's why the dating moment is very special. Like you mentioned it, someone may be looking of that type of woman, but today he wouldn't see that. But if you go to God, God will let you know he's that person. And that thing will not block the person to go further with the relationship. And once you get in, you talk. Like nowadays, the dating just to go, have dinner, talk about some small stuff, but this actually the time when you talk the real things. Dating, like, okay, I know you say you like me, but what do you really like? What do you like in your wife? Like, what type of wife are you looking for? Because it's better when you pray and you know it's the person. Not because he won't continue with you, but it will prepare him. Like, okay, I'm not seeing what I'm looking for, but it's that person. Because you tell him, and that'll be a confirmation like, okay, God told me and I'm seeing it myself. So we really need to talk serious stuff while we are dating. But begin the date with God. Because it's a waste of time if you date 6 months and now you already kind of say yes. Now you are praying, say, God, I want to know if it's your will. That's already, yeah, it's a waste of time because the more you're talking with the person, you're really in already. Even if you don't say yes, the person know that you are with me. And then the prayer will come when the guy maybe propose. The day you know he's actually serious, wanna tell you that I want to marry. Now you want to go pray. You can only hear yes, maybe from the other side of the that would not be God. You just say that's how sometimes you'll be questioning like, is it really my husband? Did God tell me yes? I'm always thankful for that because in every problem, I have the assurance that God approved our union. So no matter how upset I am, forget if I'm telling you I want to leave. I don't want to leave it. I know really God. No, there's like I've I'll be upset like that, but I really know within me that God approved that union. So it make it easy, and also it give you a way to go present that case to God. Because if He did not give you the go ahead, and you're having trouble, you go there, it's like, I didn't say yes. You go fix it yourself. But if you go like, God, you remember, I told you this, you say yes.
No, He's not going to tell you go fix it. He will say, I'm not seeing you because He's seeing you somewhere else. You are somewhere else. It's
For
not
real,
seeing you.
yeah.
You say, oh, you married? But I'm seeing your husband.
Maybe then.
Yeah.
Use a band-aid.
The mountains are saying, I'm seeing your husband somewhere.
Yeah, so
But
you
are
say
telling me
you
you're
married,
married, I don't see you together.
I don't see you together.
You are
with the
still
man
single
I
in
put
my
you with,
book.
or the woman I put
Oh,
you with.
no.
That's so bad.
You know, I think it's good that you brought that point up. You know, the scriptures say don't be unequally yoked, right, with unbelievers. You see, one of the challenges I faced early when everybody is calling my friend and my wife was that we are in a culture where Christians and any other kind of religions don't mix. Although my dad was a Muslim, right, and he converted until later in life that he truly gave his life. But that was when I became an elder. I preached to him. I said, I'm an elder, you are. So then he went for baptism. He named himself Samuel because his Muslim name was Musa and Sheidu. Musa Sheidu Adekunle, that was his name. So my girlfriend, can I say girlfriend?
Then.
She wasn't a girlfriend then. My friend.
Best friend. Best.
She was a Muslim. And there's no way, I know in my mind, it's like, God, am I really gonna? It's like we can't marry. So when people are saying, some people will come to you, you guys cannot even get married. She's a Muslim. Say, yeah, I know. We can't get married. So it's like, you know that. But I pray to God, I said, then I know that there will be hindrances if we're going to get together. The parents, our parents, my parents, it won't work. The way it happened, I don't even know. Because I remember that we talk about she's going to church, give her life to Christ, and it all happened. Like, she got baptized, she gave her life to Christ, she started attending church, and her parents, only her mom knows about it. And the dad, that would be the problem, the dad passed away within that period. Wow. It was like, so now she's free. And we attend the same church. She started serving. So the way things just work out, that is how I know that God is in this.
Yeah.
And the way she became, if you see my me with my mom, you would think she's my younger sister. Actually, some people approach her in the church thinking she is my younger sister. They didn't know that this is somebody I'm about to marry. This person came to me and talked to me. She wanted to marry me. I said, I'm going to. It's like they keep coming, bothering her. Then, but very few people knew that she's not my mom's daughter, but they are always together. She spent time at home, even when I went to the north for study and everything. She's always with them, and they were held together, and so they have this bond, like my sister and everybody. They call her, talk. They are free to talk and everything. So the bond that they have grew up with, accepting them, but we have to put God first, and because when the situation come up and everything, the person you turn to is God.
Yeah.
You turn to God and pray to God. I remember my wife telling me she wanted to have, was it 4 kids or 5? I think 4. She wanted to have 4. I said, I don't want to beat my dad's record. I want to stay within 3. And it got to a point where we said, okay, we're going to stay with 2. Then sometimes when we sit down, especially with the kids, say, do you guys think we even plan any of you? So you guys are not coming now and be determine when me and my wife will be together. Leave us alone because soon you guys will leave us be together. So they were all surprised because none of them that will say, God, give us a child. God just, at his own time. It's but we thank God today, and we know that the future is still going to be better than this.
God is very important in it. You touched something about how the dad passed. And I think about this thing when sometimes you're in the relationship when your parents are not okay with it. So it takes us back to God. If God gives you the approval, somehow, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take, you make sure that your parent will turn around and agree with that. Because it's not a good thing when they're not okay, you go ahead and get married. I know people who did that. It's not like your marriage is not going to work, but you don't get the blessings. Even though God say yes, wait.
And there are some situations like that I witnessed back home. Where if you ask the parent, why are you against this marriage? You will just hear the reason that it doesn't make any sense.
Most of the time.
Because she is from this tribe.
Or maybe they are poor for rich people.
Even I remember in college, my very good friend in college, then a lady, she's always around me and my friend. So she was telling me why she cannot marry a guy. The guy is in Canada now. It's a good friend. And say why? They are so close, and it's not because the parents will not approve of it. I say why? Because it came from this state. I say what? And when you hear those kind of things, it's true. Because I know of a couple where they are even from the same state, but because the village, it's
maybe
like
their
the two
issue
village,
back
they cannot get married because of something. So the two of them, they wanted to get married. The pastor called the parents. They begged the parents. They said no.
Wow.
But they got married without them. And they are still together. This is over 20.
But we get to the point when the parents would accept it.
No, but when God, and who can oppose God?
That's the thing.
That's what Rosa said. You saw the approval of God. Speaking about that, I'm just going to put, I don't know if it's into parentheses. When you talk about approval of God, some people, when they pray, they expect voice of God say, okay, this is your husband, or you want a picture, you want a dream, like
I saw you on the
and then for some people, I've heard a lot of people that say, oh, I want to pray, and I did not hear, oh, this is my husband, but oh, this is my wife. But in the walk with two, I saw that God was approving every step we made, and then He gave me the peace that I needed to say, it's okay for me to have this relationship. So sometimes I've seen people struggle a lot. I know a girl that was in a 3-year relationship, and that's why I'm like, we have to be a little bit careful too with I saw a dream and God said this is my husband. So that's it. Or this prophet came and told me this is my husband. Or things like that. And this pastor, I think it's Joshua Selman. It made me laugh a lot. He said you will see sister in church praying for somebody that got married 2 months ago. Because she still believes that that's her husband. Because 2 years ago there was, she was praying. She saw this, she went to the prophet, and the prophet confirmed that this is your husband. Then the husband is married, like the guy is married. Now she stayed there 30, 40, still praying for that God will make a way. When
it happens. I have my own best friend, like they're married. I don't know up to today if that girl just talking about some stuff or she really heard God. Because this lady, we pray together even, but what's the story? You're married with a person, and that person cursed her like on the day, every single day. That person leave you when you had a baby. The baby died after. The guy just left like that. Come back sometimes after, and you'll say, God told me something. You'll pray, and two. God keeps saying it's your husband, but the guy is not coming back. Like sometimes I'm like, is it me that don't know how to hear God, or? I mean, it's confusing sometimes. God can tell in the Bible when He tell one prophet to marry to take back a wife that went to, but that it happened, it tells you to go do. But this one, from years while you are praying and you are not seeing the true thing, you are stuck on one thing you heard before. Can it be like God told her that was your husband before they got married, but now the guy himself, because of his own fault,
You can't twist it.
just how begin to think, like, if you are praying, can God really?
God does things that nobody can understand.
So just because God give you a husband doesn't mean there will be no problem.
Yeah.
But what kind of problem though?
Nobody.
No. I mean, I'm bringing it back to her story. Like
Because
this sister.
the reason why I'm asking this is because I have a friend right now. That friend came, we prayed together, and that friend came and gave a testimony that God took her out of this 3-year relationship where she was struggling, and now she got engaged, right? She got engaged, and she realized now that she was fighting. And the thing is that she was, and then she said we have to be careful when we receive message from God. We have to try to discern the message according to what God means, not to like with our own understanding. She was like, she would see a dream, and then for her, she's understanding it like they're fighting a relationship. Why? In the dream, they say, like, in the dream meant to say, like, no, this is not for you. But for her, it's like, okay, she get messages about courage, messages about perseverance, messages about, why her and the man, it's not working. But she kept praying, like, God is asking me to be courageous. God is asking me to be, to stand there, to pray. A woman builds her house. I need to pray for him, and they're not married yet. But now, Daisy left, and the guy was like going on cheating and doing that. You're not even married yet. But for her, when she hear a message about courage, God is telling me to be patient. God is telling me to now, and this is why I'm like, okay, I don't know if we need more teaching about how to really understand the meaning behind certain things, because sometimes we get it confused, especially when you're vulnerable and you're expecting something. So when you see something, you're just gonna interpret it the way it's gonna work for you. Yeah. Now she's in a relationship, and I was so happy for her testimony with praise, but 2 months after, I just learned that the same guy has 3 other girlfriends. Like, so, and then from somebody else. So, and then I was like, no, it can't be him. We prayed for this girl, it can't be him. And then my other friend who doesn't know the girl, because I was like, oh, you know this girl? It's like, both of you like, and I'm like, okay, you know what? She's engaged. And then she's telling me a story about the same guy, but I don't know it's the same guy they're talking about. Oh. She's at a workplace, and this guy is engaged to her colleague. So when we're talking and we laugh and I'm laughing, and then the next thing you know, she sent me a picture, and I'm like, whoa, this is the same guy. But for her, God said this is my man. So I was like, I'm not even going to tell you anything, because at this point,
everybody needs to know how God speak to you.
I will pray that God will reveal it to
not a God of confusion.
Voila.
The prophet may say to you, but God cannot speak to somebody else without speaking to you yourself.
Yeah.
He may not say exactly the way the prophet sees it, but he will confirm there's a way God will confirm it to yourself.
Yeah.
That this, because it's not an altar of confusion.
Yeah.
It cannot confuse you, because I gave you, I think you all know my example, because when pastor was coming, I put a sign, because I was like, I'm a human being. I can miss. I can miss the voice of God. I can miss the thing. So I asked God, I said, I want to be like Gideon. I want to be that, like, that servant of Abraham, that I want to put a sign. So any man that is not my husband, let me feel, even that man is cute, is rich, is all that, let me feel angry inside of me. And God make it happen.
Yeah.
And when pastor came to talk to me, I didn't feel angry. I feel like to hear him more. But still, I put another sign for me to be
sure.
really, even we see that even Gideon, he made another sign. After the cake was consumed, he made another sign. I put another sign. I was like, now my mom, I want my mom to not talk, to listen to me, and then it happened. And then I put another sign. And then notice, I don't know how many signs, 6 or 7 signs that I put there. So that to be confirmed that it's him.
You're on the way.
And then I bring him to my pastor pray, and then he said, I feel okay with it, and go ahead. And then after my pastor, I still not answer the man. I bring him to my uncle. And then my uncle talk, and then he said, I kind of like him, and things like that. So, and from there, my mom now called me to see if it's the things of God. God is not the author of confusion.
Oh, yes.
My mom says a woman stopped her in the market. He said, tell your daughter, her heart is like a metal. Tell her to answer that man. That's their husband.
Wow.
So my mom called me. My mom, when I talked to her, it was like, okay, let me pray about it. But he said, what tribe? I said the tribe. He said, you didn't say another tribe. But he said, let me pray about it. So when except she heard that lady, she called me and said, you need to answer that man today, not today. But even though it put me pressure, I said I would
because
do when I feel comfortable to do.
Yeah.
But it was just a plus for me. I keep having confirmation.
Yeah.
But I think for that girl, she need to have herself also, and also have confirmation around with all the people that really don't even know the situation.
Yeah.
Oh, she's been praying.
She's saying yes.
Because you may be surprised. I know it's true story. It's true story that the husband, the pastor, tell the member of the church. They make it even as a movie. They tell the member of the church that God is telling me. That lady was the firstborn, and all the siblings got married except her. And the pastor was like, I was praying, but I struggled to tell you this what God told me, but he keep telling me that I need to tell you. And then he said, stay in your work where you working. Your boss is your husband.
Yes.
He said, no. He said, pastor is going crazy because that boss has his wife that he loved the wife so much, and then he sent me to go drop flower to the wife, and then the wife, we have a good relationship. So how that man will be my husband? And then he doubted, and then if he talked to his best friend. The best friend said, I think your pastor started going crazy because he knows that guy, he has money, maybe he's wishing so that he can bless the church. So the lady left the church.
Wow.
The friend took him to a prophet, and then that prophet was not the true prophet of God. He said, I see your husband, he's a guy, he's coming from Europe, he's going to marry them, blah, 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 blah. And then it happened. There's a guy who came from Europe, and then the guy, and then for her, she said that and then the pastor sent people to tell her, be careful, God say your husband is that man. I know that he's married. Even myself, I'm wondering, but God didn't reveal to me how it's going to happen, but he told me to tell you. So God does things in another way. So that girl went with the boyfriend, and then the boyfriend gave the diary, and he went back to Europe, but he was a thief in Europe. So when he went back to Europe, they arrested him from the airport, jail.
Wow.
So from jail, and then she stayed, been waiting. Then they tell her that not the husband you've been waiting. He's in jail, and then he's for life. He will not come out.
Oh.
So then the girl went back again to church, and then went back to that prophet. Prophet said, no, he will come back. See, give me this offering, give me this money, this. And then eventually he went back to the church again. To to ask forgiveness for the pastor. Look this way. The pastor said, "Me, God told me this," and it happened. The boss wife they traveled because the wife has cancer. She was struggling with cancer. Nobody knew. So when they went to Europe for treatment, the wife died there.
Oh.
So when the guy now, when he came back, God told him through his friend that your wife married a secretary of yours. She will make a perfect wife because he knows you and everything. So when he came to him, but that guy, the thief, left the HIV on the neck. So the boss said we need to do the test before we got married. When they did the test, she missed it.
Jesus Christ.
So those things of hearing God, I think, I have another situation that, as you say, the husband is still with another wife, but God spoke to me that the married will come back. I told the lady, I said, we praying with her, actually. So the husband is with another wife. But the girl herself, the lady herself, got the message through, that's your husband. Everywhere she goes, the message she's getting, that's your husband.
Imagine people start hearing that somebody's husband is their testimony.
Why? I'm sorry to say, why that? Because we rush.
Yeah.
As Papa Steve was saying earlier, everything starts with God. Ask God, make sure.
Yeah.
We rush, we go according to the prophecy, but yourself you didn't get the encounter with God.
Yeah.
When they give you a prophecy, it doesn't mean that, because the person who's giving you a prophecy is a human being. He can make a mistake.
Yeah.
You know, and dream, the dream God speaks. The dream may sound so negative, but it may be a positive dream.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So dream, you don't rely on dream if you don't really get the realm of
So Mama Pesa mentioned something about rush, patience. Because if God showed you this is your husband, what about the timing? When is this? If you marry at the wrong time, maybe that guy that is misbehaving, maybe it's not yet. God may need some work to do on this guy.
There you go.
And it's not ready yet. But you want to be the one to do the work of God. And those are the people that God will tell them, we call God what? El Shaddai. So God is saying, you shall die. You want to take El Shaddai. And God is saying, you are taking over my work. I'm supposed to work on this guy for you. But you jumping,
trying to work
do it yourself. Then you shall die. So you will see that. Then you're talking about going to know peace also matters.
Number one.
Because when you start doubting too, is this really the guy? No, that is a red flag. The moment you start doubting. I remember when I told my wife, I said, you know what, I need you to come home, we need to get married. She said, well, I said, now we need to get married because I know what God is showing me. And true, if we didn't get married that year, something may happen the next year. Because I have candidates lining up. So people that are seeing visions. Some people that the parents will be the one inviting you to their house. Please, can you come? Just come and celebrate with us. No, they are trying to
connection.
ladies in the house. They see something, they say, this guy is still single. So timing. And timing also, you don't want to maybe God said now, and you are still saying, I'm still studying. I'm studying. And you study, somebody grab.
That's it.
Or God. Like Brother Stephen said, some people, you already have the confirmation of God, but you say, I'm still studying. They didn't waste time. They did, and then even for the wedding, Corona came, they didn't waste time. They said, we're going to get married with 80 people, 50 people, and they did it.
That's that's why it's good to start with God.
Yeah.
Like when nobody is in your life, just pray for God. Like she's mentioned the signs. This is what I want to have. God will show you. Then you meet the person you know is the person. That the rest is just to prepare and enter. It's easy with God like that. Some people be like, you are the answer to my prayer. How? I've been praying. I said, wait, I have to pray too. I can't just follow
Your answer to
I
prayer.
have to pray. Yeah, you're watching me. Me, I wasn't watching you discouraged. You just know that God is in it. Plus, the devil doesn't like marriage, so she's going to try to fight. But if you know that God is in it, hold on to God.
Another thing
we
I
are
need
just
to add,
talking.
I need to add something. Don't come with before God with your mindset. You set up your mind. And you come, and the devil will play with you. He will play you very good. So to God, you come as you don't know, and you're not faking it, but you don't know too, because He's the one who made your life. He's the one who said everything, all the steps. So some stuff, things, He will not. God is faithful, and if you force the hands of God, He can give you what you want.
Yeah.
But you will waste time. You will not progress because that's not where He is seeing you.
Yeah.
You will still have your husband or your wife, but you're not gonna get successful, man, because you're not where God planned for you to be. And some people, they die in there. And some people, they have the grace of God, and later on when they start to realize and then give up, and God will show them the way. And then they go to the way, and then they see, wow, I wasted all this time. So your time to enjoy is supposed to be big, by yourself you shorten it. And then you become just small, and then the husband die or you die, or you didn't really enjoy and accomplish what, because you wasted your time in the way that God, because you gave God the package, you direct Him, I want this. If not that's not you. That means you doesn't exist.
Yeah, that one too. A sister said that one time, like, he had a list, and I'm like, that list is just you today. You don't know what kind of person you're gonna be in 10 years. Not like you're gonna change in your body, but your expectation. As you are growing, things change in your mind. You begin to see stuff differently. You become mature. It's not gonna be the same thing. So God will make you know the person that will fit you better.
And so I wanted to say what Brother Steven said, that when you call mommy, you say, come to get married now, if not. And that's true. Once the devil knows that it's time, he will send you people.
Other people,
He will send you people that He will make you, if you are not really in the Lord, in the presence of God, you will start doubting of your own decision, and then you will start saying that, let me think again more. That's how it comes. And every marriage, I'm telling you, it happened. I know people who lost their marriage like that because they run to the ex-boyfriend, and then thinking that they want to get married, they will not find out, they find out, and then boom, the thing messed up. And then, myself, I had a family, like Brother Steven, you say they were, myself, my mom, when we were praying, that woman called me. Oh, you know your friend, you've been going, because there's a guy that was my best friend. And then he went out with my friend, because it was so cute. My friend was like, hook me out. The people knew that it was my cousin. So I hooked them out, they go out together. And then the mother later on, when I came here, he called me when Pastor came on Sunday, I think that Monday. I mean, on Christmas, it was Christmas. Christmas Day was that, I don't know which day it was, about the 2 days after the mother called me. Oh, you know, you're the one who was really good with Ken. He listened to you. You know, I think now he doesn't, he's an age of getting married. And then I asked him, he said, just you that you want to marry. So I was like, Mama, let me pray about it. I will call you. When I hang up, I call my mom. I say, what you guys are doing? I was so angry. You know, and then my mom said she didn't even talk to me. That's how when the friendship with my mom and her finished, because my mom was mad too. Why are you gonna call my daughter without telling me?
It's the devil trying to.
And here too, Pastor had people who was having dreams that Pastor, you are my husband and things like that. So the devil worked and
So many dreams. There are so many people will come to you and say, you know what God is showing her. God is showing me things too. So not just you. So, and another thing is when you know the person you want to marry, how do you plan for the wedding? It's important. You need to seek God, because sometimes God don't want you to make too much noise. Sometimes God just wants you to do it in such a way that the devil will be surprised. But some people, you know, I know somebody wants to do wedding the year before. The invitation is how? Like 1999. They want to do wedding in 2000. So they have like 12 months. Everybody already know. You see, the kind of prayer stress you're going to put yourself, because the thing that will be coming, instead of you to pray for what will happen after marriage, you are praying for the battle now. So we need to seek God and say, God, take control, direct our path. We are not here to impress anybody. We are here to do your will. And you see, the day, even with that, I did not print one single invitation for my wedding. I told my wife, I'm not doing that. And there's a lot of, because my mom, she always support people. When they are doing anything, she do everything. So everybody has been telling her, the day your son is going to get married. So everybody, because there are different kind of people. Some people, true, from their, some people, even with the good you are doing, they are still bringing him. So on the day of wedding, there's a strike, no movement in the whole of Lagos. The labor union, they declare strike because they are fighting something with the government. So there's no movement. So if you have to move, you need to use your own car or find a way to move. So there was no movement. But I was happy because I know it's a sign that God showed me that it's going to keep some people away. So on that day, we were in front, we were facing the pastor. He did everything, and he said we should face the church. I turned back, I saw the church full. How did these people come? Me and my wife will look at ourselves. How do they come here?
They walk.
Do you know that when we used the first floor for the reception, when we were coming down, many people were saying, I just heard about it this morning. So it was too late for anybody to make anything. So almost 80% of the people there, they heard about it and they find a way to make it.
It's good to listen to God.
So after we finish, the battle, it's like, oh, you guys did not inform us. If we inform you,
what are you going to do? You can do now. What you want to do?
So those things before marriage, there is need to pray. That ceremony, after the ceremony, because some people are coming with gifts to mess up the whole thing.
Talk about that.
They are coming to give you something that will mess up the rest of the marriage.
People give padlock. The lock it like that, put in the bus.
But I told you guys we have a
This marriage
stinking.
And what we did, our gifts, we didn't even touch anything. The moment I said, they took them away. They took all the gifts away. We don't even know what is going on with the gift until maybe a week later. They say, oh, your gift. I said, oh, it's in. So it's like, just be careful.
Keep it to
Pray about it. Pray about it.
They keep it. So imagine if we took it right away.
I will get some, but
what will happen? Even when we take it after 2 months, they've been praying for it. We still have some attack in the house. At the point, my friend described, he said, I'm seeing this thing you put on your bed. Take it off right now. Go to it far away from, really far away. When going to throw it away and the problem is gone. And we open, the dirty shorts, dirty, really stinky shorts. So imagine if we take the gift right away in our house, what will happen?
And don't try to impress anybody.
Things that we need to keep in
I
mind.
want to get limousine, I want to do this. If you cannot afford it, don't get into debt. Don't start your marriage on debt.
Don't use your credit card to blame it.
Yeah.
Like
The God that wants you to be together will provide. He will make provision. Just say, God, this is what I'm hoping for, but if that is your will. And if it is the will of God, somebody will come and say, you know what, I'm taking care of catering. Somebody will say photograph and video.
But Papa, that one too, if you sow, because you're gonna reap what you sow. If you don't, if it's somebody wedding, you don't want to invest, you don't want to participate, you don't want to do this, yours too, it will be dry. Because you're gonna just reap what you sow. And once you really sow truly with your heart, you don't sow that for God. Remember, you just do. Just it's a day of somebody. For us Christians, it's something once in our lifetime. So I want to give my best to help. Me, I happen to do the bridesmaid of people that I went just to see the rehearsal, and then the bridesmaid didn't come, and then they say, you bridesmaid, please. And then you have to buy everything from your pocket in the last minute. And I did it, and then my wedding, I didn't want a no big wedding. But people made it big wedding for me. We didn't spend that much, but people made it big because we were there for all this. We were there. Even somebody who insulted me, I heard that the marriage, the people didn't bring food, not organized, and then they coming out from the church, the reception place is not sent. I call my friend, let's go. They were like, that guy is the one who lied to you, on you. I said,
that's a special day.
That girl doesn't know that the man did that to me. For the sake of that girl, at least, let's go. So we did, and then the guy, when they were entering, we come to, hey, congratulations. He saw me, it was about to freeze, to fall, But and then later on, he came here, until Greensboro, to say sorry. And he bought me gift when I had Basilia, a lot of gift. God told me to not use it. So let's now also at this stage, let's invest on others. So that on our day, God will invest in some way to another. He can fight for you. We can do financially, every way he can do, he will do.
I have a question. So let's say you meet somebody prior to marriage, right? And you're really interested in this person and you're emotionally attached. And you go to this is prayer and you're praying. This is prior to marriage. And God says no. How do you handle the emotional interplay at that moment, because you're emotionally attached to the person and God is saying no? So how do you handle the emotional interplay?
So God is saying to you that person you're about to marry, that's not the person.
You're very emotionally invested.
Yeah, I think the wise thing is to not go directly to tell the person too, because that's not in the good stage. It will not help. I think for me, it's like to tell the person, go pray, let me pray too. I want to ask you to spend time, or you can pray together. And then when you pray, ask God, give me strength, and talk to the other person too. Because God can, I don't know, for me, if you go tell right away, it may not be God too speaking, because you have to confirm if it's God. Because you may rush and then messed up, and then you have to go fix. But if it's God who tell you, He's the one also will give you peace of mind. He's the one also will take that desire out of your heart, because he cannot ask you to do. He said there is no temptation beyond your strength. He cannot put you through something that you cannot handle.
Yeah.
Once it's telling you, it's giving you, it's empowering you already to handle that situation.
Being on my side, I would take it takes us back to praying before you meet the person. Because you say you're already emotionally attached to the person before you go and pray. So you're having lucky, God is telling you it's not the person. If not, you can tell yourself, God say yes. But if happen that God tells you it's not, just turn around. Me here, I was talking to a guy back home, my pastor nephew. I get to a time where I pray and I tell God, I don't want anybody that's not going to be my husband to talk to me. I spent 2 years. No guy don't say, it's nothing. And I have to go back to God again, like, nobody said because before, I just think, if the person wants to marry me, we can do anything, sleep. But I'm saying that it doesn't take me anywhere.
No.
You do a year or two, and at the end, and while I'm sleeping, I keep telling God that if it's not that person, tell me. And at the end, He has been so grateful. He will let me know that's not that person, and I'll leave. You spend 1 year here, 2 years. I'm like, that's it.
And by sleeping like that, there's a covenant already you are building, which is hard for you to get out. That's why the Bible says, don't know your man or your woman before marriage. Because for when it comes to the decision like that, if you never slept together,
it will
don't
be
have
easy.
It's so tight.
Voila.
It's gonna be easy. But if you say, you start saying,
it's always because of that that you feel it so bad.
Yeah.
And to go back to how you can tell that person, when I stop, before I get connected to that pastor nephew, we'll just be talking. And instead of me really go say, God, is this person before I continue, I'm praying and I'm talking. I'm praying and I'm talking. And the guy also pray. Like we talk about everything, like how you're seeing your future, everything. One day I'm praying and the thing just say like, it's not him. Just like that. I just feel like that, like it's just a waste of time. So I was like, well, I didn't tell him yes, we're just talking. So that day, I called him the next day and I'm like, okay, all those who have been praying, this is the first time I had this, that we are not doing the right thing, that we are not together. And the guy was like, really? I said, yes. So I don't want us to just be talking, giving you hope. I on my side, I'm not in. He said, okay, I'll pray about it too. And he came back to me. It was like, you were right. God gave me a son like, it's not. I was like, really? And then when I was saying first, I was like, I'm going to make you feel bad. And I'm feeling already guilty on my side. But he came back just like that. And we still talk today. But it was okay. Nobody was angry and stuff. But if we had to go to the upper room, I will cry maybe a month or 3 or 4, and after I'll be okay. When you don't have the time to go to the upper room, it's easy. When God tells you.
And that takes it takes the grace of God. Because this flesh, no matter how you make that decision by yourself that this I'm going to do, this I'm going to do. If you rely on your own strength,
you cannot do it.
You will be surprised that you did it, and you say, "What did I just do?"
Yeah.
But it takes the grace of God. For those that you know, when sometimes I look at my wife and say, it's the grace of God.
It is.
Because if not, many things would have happened that. If you are just trusting, I kept myself all alone. You are not the one. It was God. So if it happens, and you know that I feel, just rely on God. God, I put my trust in you. This I don't want to do. I want to be in obedience, and I need your grace here. Help me here, and God will help you.
Yeah.
You know, God will help you if you put that, rely on Him, have that confidence in Him, not in yourself, not in your own strength. Because some people will say, me, I pray, I do this, and then you see Peter, right?
Yeah.
He told Jesus, I love you, not his girl. He denied Jesus in front of a girl. You sound like one of them.
No, I don't know him.
And God does that to break us, because to teach us that it's not about us, it's about Him.
Yeah.
And then I go back to that question again. Once, as you say, you were praying and God tell you, right there also, God say, God, if it's you, give me the strength. If it's you, give me the strength and give me the way, teach me how to go even tell and talk to that person and make him even himself or himself to come tell me or to go. And it happened. Many people, if you go to so many people, it happened. And God will make it so easy and you're still good friend and nothing happened. But if you go in your own wisdom, that's why people hate each other and become like enemy, yet first best friend, you know. So
and if you're a very nice person, that nice can also play on you. Because you won't be able to stand somebody crying. I don't know. You know, somebody is crying and telling you, you know, I love you. I can't do anything without you. And you start having pity.
And you go back.
You are pitying. You want to marry because of the pity. You have that person. And the person is saying, without you, I can't live anymore. Without you,
I'll kill myself.
Please don't die, you.
So if you hear this kind of thing, then you start thinking, I will be if this person kill herself.
I will be guilty all my life.
I better just marry.
But some people, sometimes they just want to manipulate.
Yes, in control.
that's why you got ask the wisdom of God, because God's wisdom never fails.
It's God all the way. It's God all the way. And surround your people with people that have the same mindset. Because like my sister be telling me at school, you'll be talking with people when if you are not like that, they think you're not cool. Like you don't have, I mean, you can have a boyfriend. Take us back to the parents as well. Some parents are tight. Like you can't even come say, I have a boyfriend. That should be a topic of another day. Because if the house is like that, you may not be open, you know. But even if it's like that, it does not encourage us to just go, because now you know that marriage is you fulfilling a vision of God. We just don't marry because we love each other. God has a plan when He puts two people together. So we have to be thinking about that. It needs preparation.
Another way, if you're doubting, somebody comes say, let's just be friends. Me, many men back home, we were friends. Let's just be friends. And if you cannot stand it, you see some people, they want to be friends, and then one day they want to change their mind. I say, they run away themselves. If they were coming for something, they run away from themselves. So but you just be friend, and by being friend, you talking, you knowing each other,
You're praying,
you know. And if he meant to be, God will open the door, and it will happen. But once you say, I tell my kids today, I say, I'm not against that girlfriend and boyfriend, because they're in teenager now, they're getting to the age where I say I'm not against that, but that word itself, girlfriend, boyfriend, the devil already messed it up. Once you say that, I want to be your girlfriend, expect the first kiss, expect who's gonna be your first, and then when I call you, must pick up, and when you don't pick up, it's a problem, and then at the point that you have exam, you have to study, and
you
the
headache.
gift. Yeah, Valentine, you have to give a gift, and then this, and then you are in the school. You depend on your parents.
How you gonna
And then I said that's how kids start stealing, because if you don't do, that partner will say, I give him a gift, or I give her a gift, but she never give me. She's this, and then they start talking and discuss. Next thing, I don't want that school no more. I want to move that school. I don't feel like this. That teacher been really, but it's not really the teacher, but it's because the friend is. I said to avoid all that, because the enemy already messed up that girlfriend boyfriend name. Just say that I want us to be a friend, because that just a friend. I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. There is no first kiss. There is nothing, because we are friends.
The word is messed up. Even the Bible said, don't wake up the love when it's not time. Because even a baby, we were talking about that last time. One baby is sucking the finger. The baby is getting a feeling already. I want to watch a documentary where 5 years old has a boyfriend, and you see that girl, the way she's talking. It's not like they're friends and they are boyfriend and girlfriend. She will go there and spend the night, spend some days, sleep there. I mean, they're not doing anything, but they are so attached, and that love is already awake. It's not the regular love between kids. Imagine that girl at 10 years. If they continue like that, at 13 she's gonna be pregnant, because the love is already there, and the world now is presenting everything on TV, on phones, where parents are not even careful what to watch with the kids or not. The kids is already seeing that, saying I love this person. It's gonna bring confusion. By the time they will sleep. So we really need to be careful. Like, don't wake up that love. We are friends. We're just friends.
Yeah, when you're not sure about the relationship, just say, let's be friends.
Don't go in it.
A simple friend, and then, but be careful too, by being a friend, the affection, the affection
What kind of
can build up too, and then you can say yes under the influence of affection.
We can be
But
just
not
friends
really,
and going to movie late at night and be on the phone late at night.
Put some boundaries.
Everybody is sleeping. You're whispering. Before you know, it's not like a
What we are
friend.
I was just thinking about when I was in college. Most of my friends are ladies. I'm just thinking, like, how did I make it among all these ladies? And today, every one of them is married, and we are still cool friends, and nothing happened. When I start naming them, I think you have met two of them. Tope was here. Tope will come in my room. Me and Tope will be there talking, nothing. Till even when she came to from Texas here, she was with us. When I went back home, it's like when I list all of them. When you come home, I will get some pictures to see. You will see pictures of ladies all around me.
Same here,
Nothing.
but I have friends, the boys, the friends.
And most of the time, they will go to my women and say, Stephen is with her, this with that. I said, yeah, I know. It's like, it's not new. She knows that. Because growing up, I grew up with ladies. Two sisters. My mom. My dad is not. So I'm like, you can't mess with my sisters now. The same way I see that you can't mess with any girls around me. So I don't know why they will tell me this is what the guy is doing. He's doing that. So it's like I'm gonna go find the guy. He has to behave well.
But he helps you to know women very well.
Yeah.
That's
it's
the
like,
case for me. It helps
you
me because those boys, they were telling me, and some of them, when they want to choose a girlfriend, I will go with them. Come see her first. Tell me what you think.
Oh my God.
Until today, I had one. He got married. He's the only one who stayed with us. I said, okay, I'm gonna send you. Come here in my church. Come see if you will see a girl here. because it's only you. What's the problem?
Everybody else.
Yeah. So he sent me a picture and said, look at her. That's her that I'm thinking, but I think my heart really is going with her. You know, we talked that day like 4 hours and we talked. And then I now eventually he said it's him and then it's her. Then they got married. So and then all the wife, they call me mother-in-law. Because all of them, they call me their mother. You know, so, and they taught me. They taught me, they said, Faisal, if you see the guy do, be careful with that guy. Be careful with this. And then I learned more. Because all of them is not like majority of them, they came to be my boyfriend. But I told me, I said, let's just be friends. Yeah.
It's possible. Gotta know yourself, have confidence in yourself.
Grace of God.
Yeah.
Oh, it's God.
Grace of God.
It's God.
Grace of God. Because some people will even be looking at you like maybe you are doing something with those. But between you and the people around you, you know nothing is happening.
But even here in Charlotte, Charlotte, when they present Pastor Patrick at church, I had a phone call. One lady called me. Since you had them so many, now you officialize with one. Can you give me a pass with Bless? I'm like, what?
They will be seeing like there's something going on because people imagine stuff.
They can't see, but
People cannot see it, but they will see something else is going on. But,
so now all the male friend that I had in Charlotte, they become friends to Pastor Patrick. More, they even talk more.
that's how it's supposed to be.
So
Yeah. And that's another sign too. You can't be with somebody who don't want to see you with. Like always thinking your male friend, if you're a girl, you have something
Oh,
to
there are
do.
people who believe there's no friendship between men and women.
All those things has to be addressed. Like, how do you feel? Are you okay for me having a male friend? Because if you don't, and then you marry,
when you get married, you have to
present
just
them.
transfer that friendship. You know, like all my friends, girls, my wife. If you go on my wife's Facebook, most of our ladies' friends, they are from the US here. If we go to any state, I will know a girl that
you knew.
I will tell her, contact this person. Talk to them. It's like, that would be cool.
Yeah. Anybody have question? I think we are trying. We are doing well. That's it. It seems like something wants to come out. No, ask question. Ask. Ask in French.
You have a question. It's like here.
Yeah, you see? Both of you.
Bring it out.
Huh?
That swallowed that question back. You see, I see the question. We go back to
I saw it.
She swallowed.
No question, Nadia. No?
The question, you left all the question in Togo.
For real.
All the question are in Togo. She got the answer. Everything in Togo.
For real. You got the answer already. Okay. Precious, you didn't ask any question.
Okay.
See?
I feel like I already know the answer to this question, but I'll just ask to ask.
Then you go to answer.
So I know we talked about making decisions, trusting God, all of that. I guess I don't know how to ask it, but it's related to believing that God created one person for you versus God, like God. Okay, I'm not leading on your own understanding, of course, right? But God, you have a relationship with Him, and to some extent, like God, He trusts you, and like I don't know, to an extent, like I give you steward, like I trust your wisdom, like whatever decision that you make, whatever path you're going down, I will be with you, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I guess my question is, does God just make one person for you?
She read my mind.
Let me finish. So like God made one person for you because of course, right? He knows all your days before you were even born. But also, like, if you, like, if God trusts you, you know, like, I know, you know yourself. I know who I am in God's image. I know how to walk, how to talk. I have discernment. Like, you know, again, by the grace of God, I have the community, all of that. If God presents you with somebody that's nice, you could choose this person. You choose them, you don't choose them, it's okay. But if you choose the next person, it's okay also, because I'm going to be with you. So that's my question.
Well, one thing I just want to say is, in all those things you said, you don't know yourself like God knows you.
Yeah. Josiane, let me ask you. Let me just rephrase the question.
Okay.
People believe, and this is the one person for one person. People
like
believe in the soulmate theory. It's like you. So if you don't marry to that person, that's it for you.
Destiny is rules for you.
Life is rules because then you're not gonna accomplish your destiny. You're not gonna because you miss the person. You know. And some people even talk about yes, you can have a pot and pot head, so you can cover it with so many cover, but there's only one for one. Some people believe that, some people don't, and some people go with the fact that as a child of God, and you delight in the Lord, delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desire of your heart. As long as your will accords to the will of God, you can be able to see a person and you like each other, and God approves that relationship without you thinking, okay, I gotta marry, because that will raise a lot of questions, such as that some people who are married. What if that person was so-called that one person? So which means your life is over? Because people still make this, like God approves some choices of people. You will still have choice. The fact that God did not create us prisoner and gave us a choice, people will make choice. And if one person's choice is going to affect your destiny, then where are we? Like, what world are we living?
Right now.
You know?
I know. And there are people that
it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot. It puts you in a lot of pressure.
It's not like so God doesn't want you to get that kind of pressure. It's like if the person don't get it, let's say like you say that the husband that God set for you, he decide to become gay, right? Because God make us with God give us the freedom, yes. But even though He gave us the freedom, but He said that He already made a path for us to follow, according to us to call ourselves at the end successful, for Him also to call a good servant, come into my rest. But there are still people who's gonna choose what they want. Let's say your man that God assigned for you decide to become gay, and God keep calling him to convert, he refused. God will not leave you like that. He's the God of
but then you're not gonna call that person my person. You know what I mean?
It is yours.
Yeah, how would you have known that whoever is supposed to be a husband?
God knows.
No.
And
But that's what I'm saying.
And this word, it's not like God is taking the rib from Adam to form you exactly like He did Adam and Eve in the garden. So if that guy go like he want to choose the other way, God that is one giving you, so it's your own.
The one God will bring to you,
it's your own.
That's what I'm saying. And that will, I think, to her point, that will move that pressure of depending, because choices, like I make choice. He makes choice. And if he makes choice, he make a choice that is not going to align with what is my destiny, that should not affect me. You know what I mean? Because that's going to be unfair, and God is not he's not an unfair God.
It's not
so that's why I don't really
our life affect we affect each one in anyhow.
But
it's affected, So, but God is a just God. If that person messed up, there's a way also God can change that person and you still marry that person. There's another way too. If the person really gone, and let's say he died. God will give you, if he wants you to go to that destiny, He will create somebody for you. is able.
But he already created. If we go with the
No,
thing
you
that-
can
No,
make it
creating in the sense of what he put in that person and putting you to work. Not created like the body shape, not physically
No, but that's the
created.
point we're making here.
What
The
do we
point
say?
is that people believe that there is, when God is creating Adam.
That's what we are trying to correct. People shouldn't
Let me-
believe
I
that.
think I understand your
Yeah,
question.
and-
But what I want to say, let me look at this. One of the perfect marriage in the Bible is the marriage between Jacob
Thank you.
and what's her name?
Rebecca. It's Isaac. Isaac and
Isaac.
Rebecca. Yeah. Uh-huh.
The way God will guide your steps. The God that wants to connect the two of you, which we can say is a divine connection. God will guide your steps towards the person to meet. Look at the day Abraham sent his servants to go. Why did Abraham send him to that place? And why on that day no other girls show up? Only Rebecca.
And he had a
And,
sign
and
too.
the sign that he
Yeah,
put
she
there.
offered to do what he wanted.
And the guy said, that is the first time we had success in the Bible. The guy said, let me be successful. Then if this happens, then I'm successful. Because this is what my master has me to do. If she do this, everything that the guy said, Rebecca came and do that. God guides Rebecca, even the servants, even that. So the God that has made a man for a woman, whether they're going to meet in US or in Canada, is going to make a way for that person to leave Nigeria or leave Togo and come here. And if God say, oh, you come here, the guy is still there, you're going to go back
And go visit.
and go get that guy.
And it's true.
Because the devil is also busy.
Yeah.
And the devil has some idea. He doesn't really know the full plan, but an idea. He knows that this guy and this guy, that is why sometimes if you look at any young lady teaching children, they have passion for kids. The devil knows that. The devil fight them so that it mess them up. That is why most children teachers that are not married, we need to seriously pray for them. Because they fall into adultery very quickly, and their own kind of adultery is not the adultery that is not going to bring fruit immediately. They don't even need to stress it. It may be one time it's going to be pregnant. The devil is busy with them that is going to mess them up. That you have passion. Then people will now going to do what? Disregard them and say, oh, this guy cannot be good example. He's not a good. You just because what God has put in that person, the devil is busy fighting it. The same thing with the wife, the lady and the man. The devil know. And it's coming to break everything apart so that they will not come together. So it's all about relying on God to guide us.
And then the impact that God made in that relationship that you guys have to accomplish. Any couple that God put together, they have something particular that they have to accomplish in the kingdom of God, in the word, in the period of time, in the thing. So it depends also in the impact, how big
It is. That's how you're going to get your fight.
If the impact is big, no matter how you guys separate, the other one go to east to west, God will find a way, the bones to come, recognize this one is my bones, it's my body. God will do that.
You see,
No matter how. I know a couple that the lady make a decision under of anger. And even though he has the mention, God said, this will be your husband. But she make her own decision because of anger, because that husband went and pregnant a woman. right? The wife said, how is going to be my husband if he went and impregnated somebody else?
The devil is busy.
And then how that lady found out that was he didn't even know. He went to pray the pastor who doesn't even know him. Her said, I'm seeing a man behind you. He described the man. And then at that time, that man was the boyfriend of that lady. He said, that's your husband. God said that's your husband. Why God said that? Because he knew if that man don't still in my path, the devil is waiting him from there to impregnate the woman. So even if he impregnated that woman, I told you that's
Your husband.
the man for you.
Just like that.
Because sometimes God give us the clue. It's not everybody that God said to them clearly, that's your husband, that's your wife.
Yeah.
But why God said to us? Because he know there's a big obstacle.
Yeah.
That I always say the person who has the clue, you don't have a reason to give up or to lose. Because you have a clue. But the person who doesn't have a clue, he can mess up. So that lady had a clue. But when he found out that the boyfriend then, he got mad. She got mad. Said, finish. Left and take decision, get married another guy. And he was miserable. The guy, and it doesn't mean that the guy is a bad person. He is a good person, but both of them, it's not, the chemistry is not working. Both of them good people, but the chemistry together, it's not working. And God bring the person. He starts showing dream. He starts speaking to people, and then he brought the person. He said, "Remember." And the guy who I'm pregnant, who the guy lost him to over there, things is not working. The girl that they had, he married and things like that, but the girl don't want to stay in the house. He left. She left. But they still in good term and everything too. But the girl just don't want to be with him. And then he went to seek the Lord. The Lord said, "There is one person that is your wife that I put. That person is the one. She's the one who hold your success. Without her in your life, you will not make it through." There are things like that. They are also, it depends on how big impact those people have to make, that God want them, because he say even that for my elect, I will reduce the day, shorten the day. They are elect, they are people of God, but they are elect of God. He say, I hate Esau, I love Jacob. Who's gonna judge me? For Jacob, you don't have the right to mess up. Esau, you can mess up, but you will stay successful. My hands will be up on you. You see the difference? So you may go say that, the pressure is receiving. You may go say that, God, this person messed up, you say it's my husband, but God, so I can go this way. You may go, but if your impact is not that great, you may be successful, make it, because our God is a way maker. He can create way. Because the Israelites, when they left Egypt, they have the shortest way to God. But God chose to go the long way, because he wanted them to see his powerful hand, his mighty hand. He has to separate the seas, and he has to do so that the Egyptian can know the God of Israel. So there are people in life like that. Your life has to bring many to God, and God will not play with you. He will not go with any decision you cannot force the hand of God. Because some people can force the hand of God. You can do there's a permissive will of God and the other one, the perfect will of God. God can allow is permissive for some people, not for everybody. So that answers your question.
Say that one more time. Record you when I said that.
You said perfect will and permissible will. No,
but it depends. Not anybody that God can grant that. If you are his elect, you have a big impact. That's something that he has to go through you.
It's not going to allow you
nothing will change. You see, like Isaac, right? He has to do the God didn't. Many people, his dad, he had the grandpa had the grandpa has many wives, right? He slept, mommy say, sleep with my servant. Why it didn't happen to Isaac?
Just like that.
Well, Jacob had Leah and then had
also,
Rachel.
when you look in the life of Isaac, no matter how perfect that marriage was, see what came out of it, the two, Esau and Jacob. Still, they have a pattern. God can do anything He wants to do.
Yeah.
But let's look at this. What about somebody who have made the wrong choice, who is already or married to somebody who now they are regretting? What hope do they have? When we go back, we look at Abigail, who was married to what's the name of the man again? Neighbor. We saw how God divinely connect her with David. So even if somebody has made mistake, that is not the end of life. That means there is still hope, and we just need to realize.
They'll be praying for their husband to die.
No.
Oh, yes.
The problem is when you realize the way God is doing it.
If it's the will of God, if it's the will of God to remain in that marriage and to work things out, it will happen.
He will make it
If it's the will of God that no, this is not where you're gonna be, it's gonna get you out of it. It's not about dying. Maybe there's another
That's what my mom business said, that God always make a way.
You cannot take him back home. It's not
Somebody married, and then God, after the marriage, there is a word that came out like, it's not your husband. After a year. And how do we do that? I was like,
divorce. We already got certain things like that for you to do what with it.
no. The thing is, you can't just get up saying, I want to divorce because I hear God say it's not my husband. This is marriage is here.
That's what I'm saying. What's the point of God telling you it's not your husband?
Because they did not. It was clear. Even me, I told that person. Like,
There are some people who heard from God, and then if
the thing is not working out.
in the long way, the husband went to another way, and then he's trying now to kill the wife. God can prevent.
That's what we get. That what I say is, if God is the one says my husband, go tell the same God how you will make it happen. Do it.
Yeah.
You can't get up and it happened. The guy
there's a
himself
story
left.
about a man that went to the pastor and said, my wife is a witch. And the pastor said,
that one you deliver.
pastor said, when do you know that?
Before, after.
He said,
After the marriage.
He said he just realized that.
He just realized.
So he said, okay, you guys got married after 3 kids.
So yeah, you gotta deliver her.
That means you did deliver. Your eyes is seeing another girl. Now your wife has now become a witch. So
after 3 years.
yeah, after no
3 kids.
Oh, 3 kids.
That's at least 6 years.
now she's the person you married now become. So that's what happened even in marriage.
But
I think you make a good point the other time about looking back, right? Because sometimes that feeling, there are moments in marriage where you just feel like, why do I even get married?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are moments
I was
you
like,
just gonna sit down
I said that I'm like,
and just think about it. And it's like you are wondering that why maybe you shouldn't get married. The devil operates in different ways.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't rely on God and be prayerful,
Oh God.
those little moments, you can get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
Just that moment, okay, let me just go out and go enjoy myself and leave this house. You just go out and you just see that queen of the sea. Just show up and say, yeah, this is the perfect. Now your wife will become the wish. Now you're gonna be seeing somebody different and say, and the thoughts.
And the devil always help on that. Once you live like that, you present things. You will see for sure.
That's why if you, in the moment like that, if you have a covenant with God, you heard from God, because it happened to me. I think I tell you the story. It happened to me. 1 year of marriage. I'm like, this man doesn't even know that he has a woman. But it was not his fault too. But me too, I didn't put as Papa Steve said something. You need to understand. God put some person with patient, and then another one with anger. You know, I didn't put myself in his shoe. He's a pastor of small church, a full time at work. So, but I wanted him to be with me. At the same time.
This guy is just eating.
You know?
Oh yeah, wonderful.
So
Very
he worked, he leave home at 8:30, right?
But I come
8 to go to work. After work, he finish at 6. That's when he start church work. Okay? And then church work, sometimes he will come home, he eat quickly. He left somebody called, phone call, papa, like the rain is falling. So he goes, I'm like, I think you're not ready. I'm gonna go. When you feel like you're ready to have a woman in your life, then you come get me. You know my address. You know, then when he went to work, I called my auntie, I packed my stuff. I said, Auntie, come get me.
Why you don't leave yourself?
Yeah, I packed myself.
She needed a ride.
I need a ride because that time we gave our car one car away. We had just one car, he left with it. So I needed a ride. I called my auntie, come pick me up. She stuck her and then she was like, yeah. If he go, because he was going sometimes until 1 a.m. You calling the man is not picking up.
He's doing the
you start being afraid, you like, and then when he pick up the phone, he said, you don't know that you married a pastor. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm done. So done. I packed myself. While I was waiting for my auntie, a voice. I was just by myself and me and myself and my stuff. God said, you taught me. When I asked you, you say, no problem. Pas mal, because I say in French, pas mal. That day, the day I saw Pastor the first time, God asked me if I give him to you as your husband. Is that okay? I said, pas mal.
Wow.
My cousin was like, pas mal what? I was doing my cousin hair. And I said, oh, did I say something? Did you hear me? He said, yeah, you said pas mal. I said, America, too much in the head. But I knew what to say. So God remind me, you say pas mal. So where are you going? I felt, that's when I felt like our life doesn't depend on us, it depends on God. So we need to be wise. And then I start insulting myself. I say, I'm stupid. God, I am stupid. I'm supposed to answer like Ezekiel answered. Only you know. Because when Ezekiel, God asked, can these bones be? Ezekiel didn't want the problem. I don't know. Only you know. But me, I wanted to feel like I got the stuff. I said, Pamal, you know. But now Pamal, how I'm saying this man. Pamal is like, no bad, no problem, you know. So why now I'm seeing a problem? God asked me, he take me with my own word. He said, I asked you. So where are you going? Then the voice asks, I insult myself, I insult, I cry, I roll in the carpet, and when I finish, I clean my eyes, I call my auntie, where are you? I'm in place 80, I think 87, exit 87 or something. I said, can you find your way to exit 2? He said, no, I'm coming to get you because I don't want you to suffer like that. I want that I'll come to get you until he realized that he has a wife. Then you need to fill that space. Then you will learn. I say, Auntie, I'm the one who call you. I am the one also is telling you, don't go back.
Thank you.
And don't come again. I'm so sorry for causing this to you. And then I hang up the phone. So she has no choice then to do it. Because I say, if you come, you will not go with me. So I start unpacking now stuff quickly before Pastor come and find me that I'm packing. Then he came and then I had like there's nothing, but my heart was not giving me peace. So I had to sit him down and say, look, what happened today? This. From now on, I will not say that I will pack myself. I will pack myself. I will go and things like that. But to say that you may be in the will of God, it doesn't mean that there will be flowers, there will be things. We are human beings.
The devil is always.
Don't blame God, but you say that this is my husband, this is my wife, but what am I seeing here?
And when you stop arguing, something is wrong.
Yeah, it's not normal. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Something is, it's
not
like the
normal.
person is just saying, okay. It's like, just
On your own.
Yeah. It's no longer two people living
That's why
together.
pastor asked me one day, I said, I did this with that man. Are you okay?
so it's like the person just saying,
Yeah.
I don't want care anymore. If you are dying, die.
Yeah.
So
That one,
the
you know
moment
something
there
is
is no, when you are arguing, just be happy. Be happy that okay, somebody is saying something wrong, is talking, you are arguing, you are talking about it. You still have somebody that you think.
Because from arguing, Papa, the truth comes. The truth from our heart come out.
Yeah.
When it come out, then you know, that's the way you think about me. That's the way.
Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened yesterday.
Yeah, an everyday argument. Yeah.
Let me tell you what happened yesterday. Let me tell you what happened at home.
But the truth comes with arguing. Yeah.
Yesterday, I changed the way our bedroom is set. I was calling my wife, come and see this guy. She didn't. She was so tired because she came from work yesterday, so she was sleeping. I said, come, I just did a little change. She said, just do what you are doing. So at night when she came, she said, no, I don't like this thing the way it looks. I said, after I've stressed myself, now you don't like it. This is how we're going to sleep tonight. Then I said, okay, Duo was there. So Duo was looking at me. I said, okay, what are you guys going to decide? I said, okay, so what do you want? Do you want me to change it? Then she said, leave it. Let's sleep like that. So today, when she came to clean with the woman, so before she came back, she saw that I've changed it again. She said, why do you change it back? I said, because your body language was saying something different. Your mouth was telling you something different.
Yeah.
Then she started smiling. Really, yeah, this is how she wanted it. So sometimes you do something you think is okay, and the person is not talking. Try to make him talk.
You will get
you will get it.
Yeah, especially when
I think Pastor used to say that example, like, I'm going somewhere, you say, oh, go.
Yeah, it just goes.
And he came back. It's like the body language and what is, you just don't want to.
It took him time to get it.
I think most of the men don't get it.
They don't.
When you just keep quiet to be like, okay,
He said, but I don't understand. I didn't know that marriage is like that. I don't understand. You told me to go. You the one you told me. I said, by the way, I say.
Someone was giving advice to married couples, like, when the ladies tell you, don't touch me, don't touch me. It's that moment he wants you to hold him.
Yeah.
Who you asking?
I wouldn't know.
No, it's not.
Who you asking? It's time for us to wrap.
Okay.
No, but it's true.
It is true. That's why we like that woman
To be.
Yeah, she gets upset and get up and go to the room, and then you stay there wishing.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's
What's wrong with that?
We like to see how really, if you really
I think it's like it take us to our culture. You know, like white people, when they're arguing, I love to argue with white people. Married white people, like you see 2 minutes, the lady will stand at the door, the guy will be at the table. Argument is going on. The next thing you see the lady here, the guy will be here. Even if they don't touch, they are still together. And before you know, somebody have to make the move. Things finish. For our own. You're not going to talk for 7 days. And then on the 7th day, you're now sitting down to address issues. When things are piling up.
Yeah, you know, when you get into a relationship like that, you take time also, because everyone will say, oh, you must not go to bed without.
Yeah.
It takes really.
You cannot. Yeah, you should never. You don't pray before you go to bed. And pray every night.
Yeah. Those things you want it, but there are so many things that
Life happens.
But don't eat the hammer on your head too much.
Yeah.
Just do it and ask God to help you. Don't say it has to, because some of the things we see on TV and those things, they are drama. They are something.
They give a script to do it.
It's a script.
I know.
So don't think that, I want my marriage to be like that.
No, it's just an idea to say. I always say that we supposed to be the best of friends and be talking about anything, anyhow.
Be nice to one another. Be nice.
If problem comes, we may not address it tonight, but we don't have to hate each other going to bed. We just know that there is something we need to fix, but we are still okay. But most of the time,
that is your last night.
no, that's what I'm saying. It's not like you hold that thing. That's a because you and your husband, actually, you're a team. So between you, it shouldn't be that as a problem. Look at it like we're on the football field. That we have to play. And I step on you today. I mean, it hurts you. Even if I don't say sorry at that moment, you still need to be in the good time and play with me so we can win the match. And then after we can address it. But most of the time we don't see it as a team. It becomes you did something against me. That's where the problem lies. Supposed to be like something happened between us.
And
not like you did something.
You are 2 in 1. 2 in 1. So whatever you actually do, you are doing it against me.
But I said I did 2 in 1 thing. I was in the first year. Even if I go outside, they gave me something. Even if it's a candy bar, I'll eat a little bit. I'll keep a little bit.
It's good.
What the? That was
it's a good practice.
No, it is. I actually want to go back. Exactly. You know, before I was like, when I'm eating, I'll just say like, oh, I'm here. I'll give it. He will take it. But again, time to when you give him, he'll like to take it and see. I'm like, when did you start? You don't. So now I'm like, okay, you're gonna take it. I'm giving you take. Before, I even asked him like, what if I'm giving you something that can kill you? He said, I trust you that you can kill me. But I don't know what happened today. We need to go back.
Go back to the first love.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really a good thing. If I let you, you'll be here till tomorrow. Pastor will meet us in the morning. So everybody has talked except of Sarah. Anything? No.
She's been just laughing.
You too. You didn't say anything. You're good. All right. Thank you so much for coming. It was a good time. I myself, I added to what I know already. And I hope you guys learned something. Thank you, Doctor, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure. Mama Vesa, thank you always for being available. We need this more. We need to know what is ahead of us. And more of it, we need to know that marriage is a beautiful thing. That nobody to talk to you the wrong way. Nobody to discourage you. It is good. As you're living here today, if you don't hear anything at all, just hear that you need to ask for your partner on your knees. Then the rest is going to be okay.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. And we just don't take a few minutes. Amen. Anybody need my account number?